So several people have asked me why I decided to go with a 350 this time versus a 450, so I'm going to take a moment to try to answer that question. So when Ford decided to upgrade the 2015 and 16 F450 over the 2011 through 14, there were some significant advantages to owning a F450. The fact that it had a larger brake system, it had a much larger front frame section, a wide track front axle which gave you a significantly better turning radius, as well as a much larger rear axle, the Dana S130, which by all means is a medium duty commercial grade axle. There were some really great reasons to go to an F450. It was a beefier truck. It had far better numbers in terms of towing capacity, with a 31,200 pound gooseneck towing capability versus an F350, which was roughly 7,000 pounds less. So again, lots of really good reasons at the time to go with an F450. In 2017 though, most of those differences have either completely been eliminated or shrunk down. Now there are some advantages to the 2017 F450 over the 350. For instance, you still get the wide track front axle, which is still going to give you a phenomenal turning circle. It is really nice to know that even in tight parking areas that you can probably still maneuver the vehicle without having to, go into reverse and constantly make small changes. Also, it does have larger brakes. The brakes are over an inch larger both front and rear versus the F350, which again is definitely going to help in terms of stopping the truck as well as the truck and trailer combination if you're towing something. Though both the F350 and 450 share the Dana M300 rear axle with the same axle rating, the F450 is going to have slightly larger axle half shafts. And if you don't know what that is, the half shaft is actually the two pieces that connect to the differential that is inside of the axle housing itself. So the axle is really the same axle. The metal shafts inside of the axle are just a hair bigger on the 450, and that's probably because the 450 runs a 430 gearing in the back versus the 410 gearing that's optional on the 350 dually. Now, I will be the first to admit that the 19.5-inch Alcoa aluminum wheels that come on the 450 are gorgeous wheels, and they really make the truck stand out, that along with that wide track front axle and fender flares. However, looking for tires for those specific wheels can be very difficult because you're really limited to only certain tires, and all of those tires are commercial tires. And one of the things that is just inherent in these commercial tires is a very stiff sidewall, and not only a stiff sidewall, but just their tendency to want to track and kind of veer into ruts versus the standard size tires that you get on a 350, which are 17-inch. So you tend to have a little bit of a harsher ride that's transferred to the cab of the vehicle when you run 19.5-inch tires, and you also tend to have problems with the truck wanting to wander into ruts. And both of those can kind of offset the look and the style of having that 19.5-inch tire and wheel. And then finally, having a 430 rear axle on the 450 really makes it a towing beast. However, it can affect your fuel economy. And some people may make the case that if you can afford an F450, that fuel price and fuel economy really doesn't matter. But what they're not thinking is that the more fuel the truck burns, the less distance it can travel between stops. So if you're going to be taking a long road trip and you're going to be hauling a fifth wheel across the country, having better fuel economy gives you the ability to go farther in between fuel stops and not being, worried about if you're going to be stuck in a certain area because you're running out of fuel or using fuel faster than you might in a truck with a different axle ratio. So given the fact that the 2017 F350 shares the same frame as the F450 now, they're identical frames, given the fact that the tow numbers are virtually identical, they're only maybe about 400 pounds off between maximum gooseneck towing capability between the 450 and the 350, and the fact that the truck has Tpms or tire pressure monitoring systems, in addition to running 17-inch wheels that will give me far more options when it comes time to either upgrade my wheel or upgrade my tire and wheel, It really made sense to go with an F350 this time around. I believe that I made the right choice, mainly because I'm going to get everything I want out of this truck. Plus, I don't have to worry about the tires, I don't have to worry about the wheels, I don't have to worry that, let's say I have some type of a blowout while I'm traveling, in another state, and I need emergency repairs done to a tire. I don't have to try to find a commercial tire shop to do that repair. I can pull into a Discount Tire, I can pull into a Firestone, or just about anywhere that has 17-inch dually tires and have my truck serviced. And that was a big concern of mine. In addition to that, the 2017 F350, of course, with its Tpms monitoring system for the tires, just offers you huge peace of mind when you're towing. That was one of those areas that was important to me, especially not having it. Most vehicles have had Tpms for quite a while now, and they've alerted you to when you have a tire that has low air pressure in it. Well, when you've been driving around in a truck that doesn't offer that for a couple of years, it really makes you wish that you had it. And again, that's just a really great feature that Ford finally decided to add to the F350. And I also want to take a moment to make a correction in the video that I posted kind of showcasing my new truck, where I said that Ram did not have that feature. Ram does have Tpms monitoring on all 6 tires, and that was something several of my subscribers commented on. As a final thought, I want to tell you why I believe that Ford made the F350 with such great numbers, especially being so close to the numbers that the F450 has. I believe they did that because when the F450 was released with its big numbers in 2015, Ram and GM basically said you're comparing a Class 4 truck, even though it was a Class 3 vehicle, to a Class 3 vehicle. You're comparing an F450 to a 3500 Ram and GM truck, and that's not fair. So what Ford decided to do was go ahead and make their F350 more capable than the Ram truck, and basically try to disprove or dispel the rumors that Ford's trying to take a Class 4 vehicle and compare it against a Class 3 truck. So basically, Ford didn't want any opportunity for Ram to make a claim that they weren't being fair with how they designated their truck. Anyways, guys, I hope this answers that question of why I decided to go with an F350 this time around versus an F450. Had there been a significant advantage to getting a 450 in 2017, kind of like there was in 2016, then I definitely would have gone with the 450. But because there weren't, I decided to do the 350. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance to, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone.